Number 23 of our best/favorite Final Fantasy music of all time is from a game that none of us have played. Already, that should probably tip everybody off to at least what game that is. Now, depending on who voted for what, that might still be a surprise. There's probably only one game that fits that list because all of us have played most of the games in the series. There's only 2 holes in my entire catalog, including some of the spin-offs. So, it's pretty comprehensive. It's Ronfaure. It's Final Fantasy 11. Isn't that something?
I was like, don't
I played Final Fantasy.
don't put me in a box. Yeah, I haven't played 11.
I'm going to put you in a box.
You're right.
I played the demo.
So, what's interesting about this song is I had never heard it before. We went to the piano. Chris already introed. We went to the symphony concert. A week before that, we went to the piano concert because we're freaks. And this song played. I was like, oh great, song from 11. Maybe I can go to the restroom while it's playing. Mm-hmm. It ended up being my favorite song from the entire concert, and I just loved it. The piano version's great. I actually don't know. Are you playing the orchestrated version?
This is the original.
And the orchestrated one is also great, but for different reasons. And when you listen to the original, it almost has sort of like a waltz sort of thematic thing going on. So all versions are so different, and yet it's such a good song.
It's impressive how good it is. And the fact that it made my list was also impressive because, I have no connections to 11. None of us do. We never played it. I don't even think it is something you can play now. It died.
It's still around, believe it or
You
not.
can.
Oh, you
No,
can?
it didn't die.
Okay.
It's beloved by a cult following still.
This is again like an anecdote, but during these concerts they play a video from the game, and a lot of times very story-based cinematics. This was just here's the environment for 6 minutes. So even they can't think of a good tie for it. I certainly don't have a tie, and yet I loved it anyway.
What's nice is that even though I haven't played this specific game, I've played plenty of MMOs. A lot of them trash. One of them 14, which is good. And we've all been in that similar situation if you've played any MMOs, which is that first area where you set out and there's this big world ahead of you. There's this adventure out there waiting for you. And there's usually some kind of basic area where you can get your feet wet and fight level 1 enemies and figure out what the hell you're doing, right? And for a lot of people, there's a couple different songs here. Gustaberg is another from 11 that I think people really have that same connection with. Ronfaure is another one where it's this is like you mentioned, that the cutscene's going through the forest. This is just a beginning area. But in some ways, it's going to be one of the songs that resonates with you the most because of it. Yeah. There's another one in 14 that's like that, because I started in Gridania, so there's a song outside of it that I love. Didn't even make my cut because there's so many good songs in this series. The point is, people have a connection with this song, not only because it's really good musically, but because it kind of signals a first fledgling steps into a world.
Well, and it's interesting because it's a very repetitive song, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You get do, 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 just over and over again, but you're yes. And every time they restart it, I'm yes. It's such a good hook.
Loop that shit.
Even if it's not much more than the hook is so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to keep shitting on 12 the entirety of this series, but it's you're right, because this loops through that particular part of it, what if you want to call it a chorus or whatever, 6 times in 4 minutes. But it's still you want more of that from 12. Give me something that grabs my attention, that hooks me, and I go, wow, yeah, because then when I come across a song, I go, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I care less in this list and my voting about the mechanics and all that of a song. We kind of talked about that. I wanted to vote for songs that make me feel something, whether it's nostalgia or just the way the notes are assembled evoke something. And this is definitely one of those. I feel something when I listen to this song.